Kind of bittersweet moment last week. Loukyee finishes tied for ninth in NCAA championships, but it's the last tournament that she'll be able to rep maroon and white.
Yes, I mean, obviously we would have loved for the team to be at nationals. We missed going by one stroke, which was always really hard. But it was an awesome experience with Loukyee up there. She just played fantastic all week on a really challenging golf course. The greens were rolling so quickly, and her mental game was just really on point.
You just talk about that, because some of that tournament has the best golfers, D2 golfers in the nation, and she was, finishing the top 10, and all those golfers. Just how proud of her were you?
I was so proud of her because, truthfully, she did not play her absolute best, and I feel like if she had, she could have had a top 3 finish easily. But those are the best golfers. There's an Arnold Cup player that'll be there, and she did awesome as well. But just for Loukyee to have that experience, I'll just mention it briefly, but coming down the stretch, she did have a bad hole. And it was just 2 shots. There's a little bit of a challenging hole that you have to go for. And she got a bad break on it. And, watching her, I was like, okay, this is really a moment of truth on what kind of character she has. And watching her body language and her mental game, she looked like a pro. It looks like the ladies you see when you're watching on the LPGA. And she finished after that point 1 under on her last few holes. Almost made a birdie on the last hole, had about a 35-foot putt. That if it would have fallen, she would have had solo 8th actually. But yeah, just super proud of her career. She set every single record except for most wins, which still belongs to Jameson. And I think there are a couple others that she didn't beat Glory on, but almost every other one, including stroke average for a career and stroke average for a season.
Can you talk about the year from a personal point of view? She had a pretty tough year. She didn't come back for COVID. She didn't play spring or fall, and then her mother was killed in a car accident. I know it's been a tough year for her. How was she able to, when you talk about her mental game, to be able to come back and play again and still?
Well, truthfully, the last year and a half have been really hard. Loukyee was in an accident. She was actually hit in a crosswalk last October. And so she missed one of the tournaments in fall of 19, which was the national championship preview. Didn't get to play that, had a concussion, had some bad injuries, and truthfully, she still sleeps on a heating pad, has to use her heating pad on her back before she plays. And so then COVID happened, she didn't get to play, she went home. Her mom died in a tragic car wreck over summer. Her visa was delayed, she couldn't be here in the fall. So for her to come back this spring, she is running her mom's business virtually, taking graduate classes, and everything that she had to deal with mentally over the last year and a half. She's one of the strongest young women that I've ever met. We'd finished a practice round this spring, and she's like, hey, I have to stay at the hotel for a little bit before we get dinner because I need to finish payroll. She's just been, has so many different fires that she's dealing with, and to be able to come onto the golf course and get into flow and play like a champion has really been remarkable.
Wow.
Yeah, I didn't even.
What about you for getting ready for next year?
Well, we're going to have 4 new girls next year, so it's going to be like a whole new squad because golf, we don't have huge rosters. But we are bringing back Alyssa Campbell from South Carolina, who's an amazing player, one of the best ball strikers that I've ever seen. And then we also have Riley Cook from just north of us in southwestern Kansas, and she was a true freshman this year and a really integral part of our team. So I'm excited to have both of them back, and we're adding Alexis Escobedo, standout from Amarillo High, as well as Loukyee's little sister will be playing for us. Her name is Gam. And then we also have a player from Italy who will be getting her master's here, and a freshman from Argentina.